Right now, we're glad to be joined by Mayor Tom Erdmann for the city of Carrington. And thanks, Mayor, for joining us here on the Chatter program brought to you by the Carrington Chamber and CVB. And we check in with Mayor Tom once a month, and he lets us know what's all happening with the regular city council meeting. And yeah, Tom, so yeah, it's summer. I think what summer's starting here and the fair, and we're talking all sorts of good stuff for Carrington now, right?
Yeah, it's summertime in Foster County, and that means party time and street closures and fireworks permits and all the good things that summer brings. And sad part is, school just got out and we're already a few days beyond that. And so summer will come and go fairly quickly, but yeah, so at our, public or at our city council meeting, of course, the first thing on the agenda was to approve the 4 locations for those individuals that are selling fireworks. So we have 4 different vendors that sell fireworks in our city, and I believe they can start selling approximately 2 or 3 days before the 4th and another day or two after the 4th. But the big bang, of course, is on the 4th of July, and then we will have a community fireworks display that evening at about 10:30 at the fairgrounds on the 4th of July. So anyway, those applications were approved. And then also regarding the fair, which is coming, which will be here the 18th through the 22nd, the street closure out there by the carnival, right across from the fairgrounds, we close that street so kids can go back and forth from the food vendors, exhibit halls, and also to the carnival, which is pretty a main attraction for a lot of our young kids. And that street will be closed for the entire 3 or 4 days of the fairs. Then the other thing on the regular agenda, we have a resolution we set our liability limit at $2 million for the city. So we just had a resolution stating that our liability policy will be $2 million for a $2 million bond. Then from there, I could just kind of jump into the fire department. Chief Longan reported they had 5 rural calls, of which most of them were some small grass fires, and then also they assisted New Rockford in a bigger fire up there, but we're just kind of on call to help New Rockford out. And I know at that one up at New Rockford, they brought in a couple of Black Hawk helicopters to help get that one out. But we should be pretty much done with the grass fires now. I believe there's been enough green vegetation, and hopefully we can move on and not have any additional issues with fire. But they had 5 rural calls. They had a couple calls within the city, but all those were a lot of times these fire alarms that businesses have. It might show some heat detection or something, and it causes an alarm. So those are actually false alarms, but that's all the things that the fire department, they have a lot of commercial businesses have a direct line into the fire department. So if one of their fire alarms, or heat alarms registered something, it goes right to them. So anyway, there was a couple calls there that were false alarms. And then he did indicate that the new fire truck, which has been purchased, and it needed a couple things added to it, like the foam equipment and a couple other items. They'll have that back here actually for the 4th of July parade. It'll be in the parade, and then it needs to be checked out and tested, and it'll be put in service around the 20th of July. So we're kind of excited about that new fire truck. It's quite the new piece of equipment and all up-to-date modern stuff on there. Then for the fair, they're going to have a foam pit for the kids for the fair, one of those 3 days. And then they're also going to have a foam pit for the first running of the market coming up here in July. And then I know Chief Long, and he landed a couple of grants, a $7,500 grant from the Alliance Pipeline and a $7,500 grant from the Carrington Foundation. Those funds are going to be used to help retrofit that Polaris Ranger that the CP Rail donated to the fire department. So we'll have kind of more of a mobile unit, or a unit that can get into some areas where you can't get a bigger fire truck in there for an emergency or for fires. Then from there, I'll just jump into finance and legal. Of course, we're still working with waste management on extending our service contract for the garbage that they do in our city, and the 3 years will be up on that on August 31st. So we hope to have a new contract in place, and we're still negotiating that. Then we've also formed a committee to go over all of our valuations of our buildings and our insurance policy with Bavera and with North Dakota Insurance Reserve Fund. And we will have that identified as far as a lot of our buildings are undervalued and we need to just get them up to what replacement cost. And I believe last time I told you we can get everything pretty much current and up to date and increase values, and our premium is going to go up between $3,500 and $4,000. So it's not a major expense, but it's still just something that we need to be cognizant of. Then, of course, under finance and legal, the city sales tax, last year's 1% brought $655,000, and as of the first 5 months of this year, we're $175,000 ahead of last year's record. So I don't know what's going on here. People are just spending a lot of money, but apparently there's been a lot of economic activity within our city to cause our city sales tax to be 175,000 ahead of last year's 5 month, or the 12-month record. So that's kind of interesting. Then from there, I'll just jump into economic development. Of course, one of our popular grants is commercial building improvement grants, where we agree to pay 25%. It's a 25% match up to $30,000. So last month we paid out the one to Arrowwood Prairie, where they went in and remodeled the old High Plains mechanic shop building and put offices in there. And then we also approved one for the Foster County Public Health Building on Main Street. And we just approved one for CHI, St. Alexis Hospital, where they're going to do a bunch of work on their concrete entrance of the hospital. It's kind of outdated and some of the concrete's uneven. And so we're looking at providing a 25% match for that project. Then also another one that we have is we have a daycare grant program, and Ellen McLam out here at Kitty Corner, Darlene's Kitty Corner, she's increased her center, or she's changed it from just a whatever, increased it to a center where she can have up to 30 kids. So she would qualify for approximately a $10,000. It's $1,000 per equivalent of a child. So for every full-time individual, so she's looking at going from 20 to 10. So she would qualify for a $10,000 grant there, which is paid out 50% upon approval now, and identification of those spots actually being filled with full-time individuals, and then another 6 months down the road to get the other 25, and 9 months to get the other 25%. So then from there, we'll just, I guess, well, yeah, one other thing with economic development is Eddie's Eats is it's a mobile food trailer, and economic development, not through the city, but through the CCCC funds, we provided a $2,500 grant there. And then Jamison Kramer is working on a basketball skills camp for any of our youth that want to participate. So he was given a $250 grant for his project. Then from there, I'll jump into the police. Of course, we're still a couple officers short, and Walker Carr has agreed to help out in the summer. So we appreciate Walker wanting to do some part-time help with us. And then also Justin over at the sheriff's office helping out. So to kind of fill but we still provide 24/7 protection with our police department. They made 356 calls for service this past month. And one of the more bigger ones that probably more people are aware of is that they're enforcing our junk ordinance. So also mowing lawn and that type of thing. So I think there were some warnings given out asking people to clean up their property, or at least mow the lawns, take care of the weeds. And that's all part of law enforcement. And then it's followed up by Public Works. Then from there, I'll go to the airport. I guess we've got some crack sealing work that got completed since our last meeting. And also we're still working on getting the bids out for getting them receiving and looking at the bids for the new lighting that's going to take place out there with the grant that we received from FAA. And then Doug Smith, of course, is the chairman of our tree board. He said a lot of individuals have come in and picked up trees that were available to replace the boulevard trees that were taken down because of disease. And of course, every year we'll look at, getting rid of the trees that are diseased again for this coming year. And if people want to look at replacing them, we do have some programs available that they can contact City Hall and get information on getting a boulevard tree. Then from there, I'll just kind of jump into Public Works. We had the Department of Environmental Quality come out and they look at our whole water plant and our lagoon system. And And the individual was just totally impressed with how the guys out at the water plant keep everything mowed, and on the outside appearance looks really good, but on the inside, everything is good. So we come away from that inspection with with a high grade. So I greatly appreciate all the public works employees to keep our city looking good and just reflects positive to everything that we do. And then Jason did indicate the mosquito spraying, the equipment to do that is broke down right now, but we hope to have it running here shortly. So by towards middle of June, we'll be able to get the mosquito spraying going. The only thing that's helping us there is just cool, cold weather has kind of kept the bugs down at a minimum. Then the armory will be closed here next week we're putting new flooring on the steps. So I guess it'd be the week of the fair that the armory is going to be closed for like 3 days. But I believe most people are not really, there's not much activity there because it's really not open in the evening for kids to be in there playing ball or doing whatever. So it's mainly just open from 8 and I think from 8 to 4 for anybody that wants to walk. And I guess as long as the weather is conducive, they can go walk on the track or just take a walk around town and see how things are going. Then we're still waiting for a grant. We've on that one block of water line by Gate City Bank that we're looking at trying to, as long as we got that cut open, we're looking at putting in a whole new water line, but we're looking for some 60, it'd be a 40% or 60% grant. We put in 40, the state would put in 60. So that application is still pending with the Department of Water Resources in Bismarck. And of course, on Public Works, we still have an opening for a Public Works, either be part-time with the water plant, part-time Public Works, but we have an opening and we're still seeking applicants for that position. And anybody's interested, they could get a hold of Jason Walski. So I guess with that, all I would just say is everybody should have fun this summer. I know we got the school reunion coming up, but the next thing on the agenda is the Foster County Fair and all kinds of activities going on, and there'll be all kinds of golf scrambles, and the fishing report is good, Greg. So yes, get out and try to catch a walleye.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You've been getting out on the lake, right? A lot already?
Yeah, I've been out quite a bit. I got lots of guys that like to go fishing, so I got more friends that like to fish than I got time to fish. But but yes, we've been doing really well on the walleyes, and it's that time of the year when the water warms up and the walleyes get aggressive, and it's been a lot of fun.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, thanks so much for the update, Mayor. We always appreciate you joining us here. Let's see, next regular city council meeting is July 14th. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct. So,
okay, so we'll have you on that Thursday right here on the chatter program. So next month. So
sounds good as long as I remember to put it on my calendar and don't go fishing instead, huh?
right. Yeah.
Oh, the fish for biting is so good, I just couldn't turn it down.
Oh yeah, yeah. And yeah, it's always good to get out there. So yep. Alrighty, well, enjoy the rest of your day and then we'll check in again next month. So
all right, thank you, Greg. Have a good day also.
yeah, you too. All right, we'll see you.
Bye.
Discover the charm of Carrington, where community and character come together. Our vibrant community is full of welcoming smiles and unique experiences, from delicious dining and one-of-a-kind shops to lively events and beautiful parks. Join us in celebrating the best of Carrington, where every visit feels like coming home. Come visit the Carrington Chamber and CVB office to learn more about our wonderful town and its amazing businesses. Explore Carrington today and experience the warmth of our community. Hey sports fans, tune in to YourLiveEvent.com for all the action-packed Carrington Cardinal games, streaming live and free. Catch every thrilling moment with our live coverage. Listen to the play-by-play and watch the games unfold right on your screen. Plus, if you missed any of the excitement, don't worry. You can catch up on all previous games at YourLiveEvent.com. Check out the full schedule and never miss a moment of your favorite local Carrington games. Stay tuned and let's go Cardinals!
Right now, we're going to check in with the Carrington Chamber once again on the weekly chatter program right here on YourLiveEvent.com. And we're glad to be joined by Laurie Dietz and Gabi Aboud. and both executive directors for the Carrington Chamber and EDC. And the Chatter program brought to you by the Carrington Chamber. So thanks again for that. And thanks for joining us here. And of course, Laurie, let's see, we got next month is the big date, huh? End of the month?
Yeah, the countdown is on.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we'll get you on there a few more times at least here on your live events. So
Sure. Yep. And yep, we're glad to have Gabi. She's excited to be here. And so I'll be leaving things in good hands.
Yeah. We had Gabi on, of course, last week. We met her for the first time. So thanks for that. And then let's see, Gabi, you got, of course, busy week here in the Central City. Everybody coming to town for the big fair, right?
Yes, the fair is going on starting today. We have lots of fun attractions. We have the Daryl Racing Pigs going on every day. The 4-H livestock show with different animals each day, but it's fun to check that out. Mighty Thomas Carnival, it's back to town this year, and day passes in advance are $30. You can get them at the pharmacies or at Levers, but you can also get the day pass at the carnival for $35. So there's that. We have music. We have a comedy show too coming up too on Friday. And also lots of good food there going on every day. So it will be fun to check everything out.
Yeah, lots of good stuff and lots of fun activities for the kids and adults, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Thanks, Gabi.
Yeah.
Laurie?
Hats off to that good fair board that they've got. They've got a lot of stuff put together and they work hard to make it happen, that's for sure. So, but yeah, looking at next week, we've got June 24th is the Thrivent Poker Run, and that's always fun. So they're going to meet over by Thrivent at 94 9th Avenue South. Between registration is between 5 and 6 on the 24th there. And then it's the poker run, so the top 5 hands will be getting prizes. So it's always fun. They've gathered more and more people each time, so it's been a good event. And then also the Armory is closed the rest of the week here. They are repairing the steps there, so just remember that the Armory is closed. June 27th, Cows and Coal Creamery is open, and they'll be open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So it's a great time to get out to the Cows and Coal with the big, beautiful weather, and just really fun to visit out there. They have a lot of seating outside too now, I've noticed. And then Carrington Youth Center Theater has been lining up free matinee movies for the kiddos this summer, and June 25th is the first one. It's Kung Fu Panda 4. And that is sponsored by Car Construction, and the concessions, the yummy treats, are sponsored by Blana Industries. So check that out. There's, I think, 4 free movies this summer. I think 4 or 5, 4. And then we want to remind everyone, of course, about the 4th of July or the Independence Day Parade on July 4th at 5 o'clock. Lineup begins around 4. So if it's really hot, we don't line up too far ahead of time to stand out in the sun. But entries are wanted. Make it a great parade. And if you have questions, of course, give us a call, 652-2524.
Yeah, boy, that 4th of July and parade, they're sneaking up here pretty quick, huh?
You know, and doesn't it seem like after the 4th, it's just like downhill for the rest of summer? Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, then next month we'll be talking back to school already. So, wow.
Yeah, don't say it. Oh,
Yeah.
I know. And it doesn't seem like every year it starts earlier and earlier. I suppose we'll be looking at, the back to school social and all that stuff. But yeah, summers get shorter and shorter. And this year, July's jam-packed too. We got the big reunion. We've got the Babe Ruth baseball tournament. And yeah, July's going to fly by too.
Yep, that's right. All righty. Well, thanks so much, ladies, for joining us. We appreciate it. And enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your fair at the fairgrounds here in town, running through Saturday. So, yeah, well, thanks for joining us, and we'll check in again next week. Have a good weekend. So,
Yeah. Thanks,
Thank
Greg.
you, Greg. You
yep,
too.
you bet. We'll
Bye.
see ya. Michele Seil joins us on the Chatter program brought to you by the Carrington CVB. Thanks, Michele, and for joining us here on a monthly basis. Michele is the Carrington City Library Director, and she checks in with us to let us know what's all happening with the library. And of course, It's summer now, and well, you got a lot of reading, the summer reading program going on right now, right?
Yes, we're busy, busy, busy. June, of course, is our busiest season, I think, and it's been busier this year, I think, than I had anticipated a lot of times. But we've been doing lots of arts and crafts and STEM, and we've had robotics camps, and just a lot of fun things going on, keeping us really, really busy. So we're going to continue that. Next week is another really fun week. Was just working on the schedule for that, and we again we're going to do a STEM camp. Our registrations are closed because we have about 35 kids coming for that. So it's going to be a busy day, but we've been doing movies and munchies on Mondays. And so next Monday, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. Now I have Sonic Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3. So I guess the kids will decide which of the three they want to watch. But I thought that was kind of important to have all three of them. And Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I think, just came out not too long ago on DVD. So that's why we're going to show that one. And then we've been doing Fun and Fit at the Courthouse Park. Casey Rexon has been doing that for us, and it's been going really well. And so this coming Tuesday is the last one that we're doing for that. And then we're doing STEM activities and arts and crafts again. And this coming week, we're going to do the soil tunnel that's provided for us through Soil Conservation District. So that's always kind of fun to have that set up and to do that. We have a special event on Thursday. We're going to do a lunch and learn. And again, lunch is free, provided to anybody who comes. But it's always open to adults. I want everybody to know any age is welcome to come. But I think this one's kind of fun. We're having a photographer, Angie Blana. She's coming in to teach us about photography. She has a photography business. And so, bringing your own device, cell phone or an iPad or whatever can help kind of visualize things a little bit. But like, how do you decide what makes a good picture and that kind of thing? So it will be kind of fun to have that as a kind of a craft lunch and learn this year. So that's on Thursday, and that will be at noon. So that will be a lot of fun. Kids can still get done with that and get to the pool if it's warm enough. Not so sure about next week's weather. Up and down the temperatures seem to go. So that's next week. And then the week after that is going to run us, I think we have another week in there. And then, no, that's next week. And then we run into the 4th of July weekend. And because the 4th falls on a Friday and we're already closed on Friday, we have to be another day closed to compensate for the holiday. So we're going to be closed on the 3rd, which is a Thursday, and Friday the 4th, and to give our staff an opportunity to take advantage of the whole 4th of July weekend and the camping and everything else we're going to do. So we're going to be closed that whole weekend. So we'll be closed from Friday the 3rd all the way through now until whatever that day is, that Monday after the 4th. I can't even remember what the number is. So that's kind of a nice holiday break. And then after that, we're going to do, it's the 7th. And then after that, we're going to do the celebration party later on in the month. And typically I've found that during July, our summer participants slow down just a little bit because they have so many ball games and vacations and the pool and everything like that. So we switch and usually do activities, only once or twice a day instead of, 3 or 4 times. And then on the 23rd is our celebration party, and that's for all kids up to grade 6. And then they have to have all of their reading sheets turned in, and we're going to do our prize drawings, and we'll have a meal. And we've been doing it like a carnival. And so we have all these activities set up, and they can come and advance and play with that. So it's been a lot of fun to do it that way. So busy will be, the library will be really busy that day, but that's good, And after that, then, it's almost August, and you know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Back to school.
Yeah. Well, I don't mention that to my daughter, though.
No, we don't want to mention that. Just kind of like, just say, oh, by the way, tomorrow is school. It's, I don't know, it passes so fast, doesn't it? It
Oh
just,
man, yeah, it cruises. Yep. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, yeah, so busy summer days, and later, probably next week, we'll be getting out the schedule for July, so everybody can take a look at everything that's going on and, add that into their calendars and things like that. So we're always posting on Facebook and Instagram what our weekly schedule is. We give kind of an update there, as well as on our website, which is carringtonlibrary.org. So we have that. So that's pretty good. And since we're visiting, let's talk a little bit about our website. One of a couple of the things that are on there that are really nice to be able to look at. One of them is we have digitized newspapers. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to look at that, but you go to our web page and then just click on that digitized newspapers link, and we have newspapers from kind of all over the area, and you can type in a person's name, and it will search up any mention of them, and it goes way back in history. And I think about that, like, because I'm over in the Sykeston area, and then Sykeston at one time had 2 newspapers. And so both of those are on there. And then Carrington used to have more than 1 newspaper, and all those are digitized. And so as you're, maybe visiting the Foster County Museum during Fair Week, we're getting kind of inspired by history, or wanting to take a look at a little bit about your family history, there's that. And then we also have, through the North Dakota State Library, access to Ancestry.com. And so you can do family history researching and things like that. The only stipulation with that is you need to physically be in the library to do some of that research, because of the way the contract is set up. So, if you're looking at history, looking at, family reunions and things like that happen a lot in the summer, and wanting to take stories back or whatever, there are some great things that are in the newspapers and in the archives, to be able to look at. So, yeah, encourage everybody to, pop over to the carringtonlibrary.org and take a look a little bit, or stop at the library, and we're happy to help.
Yeah, some awesome things on there. The old newspapers and everything. That's pretty cool. You can go back and look. So,
You get to look at the whole paper and all the pages. I just sometimes enjoy reading the advertisements, because some of the things and the way they advertise, it's so different than it is now. So it's a lot of fun.
All righty. Well, good deal. Thanks so much, Michele. We always appreciate you joining us here on the Chatter program, keeping us up to date what's all happening at the library. Anything else while we got you on here then?
Well, our hours, our regular hours, are Monday through Thursday, 10:30 to 5:30, and we changed our Saturday hours. We're trying it out for the summer and see if we like it. Our noon, 9 to noon, so people can get out and enjoy the rest of the day, and that kind of stuff. So we're going to give that a try and see if we like that change a little bit. So, and then you can always reach us by calling the library at 652-3921. Visit our website again at carringtonlibrary.org, or follow us on Facebook and Instagram to kind of keep up with what's going on.
Okay, good deal. Well, thanks for the update, Michele, and enjoy your rest of your day here. And of course, the fair going on here in Carrington. So it's a busy time. So
busy in Carrington. Yeah. So enjoy that. Yeah. And that reminds me that, like, we're talking about July, and then there's a whole state fair in there too, just a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. Busy times, but good.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. All righty. Well, we'll check in again next month. So.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks much.
You bet. See ya.